Alright, welcome back to another stream. We are back with another. This is one of the later live streams I've done in probably a while. But we have a couple of tornado warnings ongoing in Wisconsin. We have two actually going on in Iowa. And for the rest, most of it, for the most part, is mainly severe thunderstorm warnings. We did have a tornado briefly earlier up in Wisconsin. Let me check where that happened real quick while I'm at it. Uh, Actually, I can't remember if it did go observed. Might have went observed like very briefly. Wait, yeah, I went observed very briefly. It was like an hour or so ago when I went observed. And now we're kind of looking at in terms of the Wisconsin Dells area all the way down to near Columbus, Wisconsin for tornado warnings right now. And these storms are heading towards the southeast. You can see all these storms are all the way up here initially. And I mean, we don't have a fully organized line of storms, but we do have areas that are severe and actually a bit of a tornado that is starting to develop on some of these areas here. And that's going to be something to watch for through tonight, essentially. Also, another thing to note, too, you may notice I'm using a different weather, a different radar app this time, which I'm using Weatherfront. And so far, and I mean, this is like the official like web app. They're eventually gonna be releasing a desktop app and all that eventually. But it's just a matter of when. And I'm kind of out of frame of my thing here. I don't know what happened with my webcam from last time. But yeah. Not interesting about this cell too when I was looking at, because I didn't realize I went tornado warned earlier. You see, it was kind of, I mean, a cluster. You can see all these cluster storms here, and it started developing this like almost basically classic supercell look to it, where it had this hook, and then it had this merger on the backside of it, and now it doesn't have that. Well, it does still have rotation on it, which is that right there, but actually, let me turn up the thickness of this real quick. Yeah, okay, that's better. But we do still have rotation on it, but it is definitely don't have that inflow notch like what we had earlier. And then looking at this one, we also do have rotation on this one too. That's been developing over the past couple of scans as well. And I don't know if we may have actually had a brief tornado on this one, but doesn't look like, as of terms of anything on CC, doesn't look like we have anything on CC. So that's another interesting thing. I wasn't planning on. I mean, I knew there was a tornado risk at least on our. Because if we look at our outlook for today, our current outlook, our 2% tornado threat is down here between Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois. We do not have a 2% up here in Wisconsin. So that was kind of an interesting situation. We have a new tornado warning over here near Massena and Bridgewater. Also, I finally got to cleaning my keyboard, because I have not cleaned my keyboard in ever. Wow, we have quite a bit of, well, we have a few severe thunderstorm warnings going on over here near Omaha. I can imagine it's quite the lightning show out here. I mean, you can see just the amount of lightning on radar here with this like kind of almost MCS with this area here. Take a quick look at our rotation on this. Go over to storm relative. Because if we still have rotation, it's gonna be near Lake Wisconsin at this point, so it's gonna be right in here. Definitely doesn't seem to be as strong rotation. I do want to take a look at CC. We'll go back a little bit here, and by a little bit, I mean we'll go all the way back to like where we had that tornado from earlier, which I think was all the way up here. if I remember correctly. This tornado warning is gonna be going for 28 minutes there. I need to reposition this microphone. I feel like this is probably gonna make my microphone do some noises. Maybe not. I didn't hear. I didn't see my thing spike up. So doesn't seem like it was the case that it spiked. So nice. All right. I do wonder, cause I know there is kind of like this almost boundary here of like some kind of boundary or something. And let me take a look at surface observation. Wow, yeah, there's your this is from 9:30, so a half hour ago. This is your dew point observation, and you got your temperatures. I mean, it's still pretty warm. I mean, I mean, we're in June now, so you have a lot more moisture, a lot warmer temperatures, but yeah, definitely keep an eye on that area rotation near Lori Moore, Iowa. Because even though, I mean, that one seems like it's been trying to tighten up and produce, but or if it has produced, it was a brief tornado. But once again, I've not seen anything on CC. So I mean, it is kind of broad as a latest scan, but it's still strong enough that we have area convergence. And holy, my green screen. Yeah, I could already tell that the velocities. Okay, I need to back up. That probably helped my situation there. That itched my nose. Take a look here at this, because the latest scan, latest scan did just come in on the radar here, because we're looking at at least on this one, we're looking at the Milwaukee's radar. Wonder if La Crosse has. Actually, I think we might be the case right now where we're in between radar sites, so we're not gonna be we're not gonna be exactly right on top of it. Oh, that's another thing too that I've recently got. I got there's gunk for my keyboard on my phone. Yeah, essentially, I got yesterday I got a new mouse, which is the glorious Model O, and it's a slightly bigger compared to my Razer mouse I had, which is still sitting over here. So this is the Razer mouse that I had, and well, the Razer mouse just hasn't had a working middle, like how you hit the middle button, the scroll button where it has that middle click. It hasn't worked in like forever. I don't know why, but yeah. Now I have a mouse that actually works properly, and I know it's gonna last a while now as well, which will be also helpful because I know, I mean, considering how much clicking around I do with the switch between the mesonails and all that. So yeah. Wonder what the this looks like from radar on Omaha or near Omaha, because this would be our area rotation. I mean, it's not a super strong area rotation, but it is noticeable enough that there's at least something there. Is that another area? over near Orient. I'm gonna go back a little bit in the scans. No. This oh, and that's also nice. The nice thing about Weatherfront 2 is it just like weather wise, the drawings actually stay nice. I'm still finding out things about Weatherfront as I'm using it. It's great. We do also have let me go back a little bit, see our reports. Let me go back because on Weatherfront you go back 24 hours, which is that's a lot of hours to go back. But I mean, if you want to look at something the day before, you can, which is pretty cool. Or at least 24 hours from whatever time you're looking at, or 24 hours to go from what. Oh, I need to. I see my sinuses are still being a pain in the butt. Although I will say some, I will say, oh, there we go. Okay, I was about to say, I was about to say it would take a little bit for it to load all those frames, but no, it loaded it all pretty quickly. Got a 60-mile-per-hour wind report. Also nickel-sized hail. That's over near Montana, Wisconsin. And then there was a couple of, I assume these are, oh, that's ping pong, that's golf ball, and that's ping pong. Oh, one second. We'll go back to current scan while we're at it. That is one thing I will say about this particular section of storms here, which is still tornado warned. We do have either a heavy shower or a little storm that's ahead of this. That does make me wonder how that's going to affect this with how it merges in with the cell that is portion of this that's at least warned right now. Which, looking at velocities, it does look like it is outflow dominant. Good thing that Michigan Day tornado warnings this time. I was gonna say because I think it was back. Oh, excuse me. I think it was back in what April that Michigan was getting a lot of severe weather, along with Wisconsin and Illinois and all that. Wow. Okay. That over the last couple scans, that air rotation has gone down by a lot. Wow. But how is your evening going? Because mine is I will say, I mean, just considering that this is I need to learn to position myself in the camera frame and not be like a million miles away from the center. But yeah, looking at the latest scans on this cell here, with whatever mergers it went through here, it definitely cut off whether rotation had, or if there's still rotation, it's probably weak at this point. Or at least, I mean, it's not gonna be directly at the surf. Well, I wouldn't say surface, but lower levels. Yeah, I need to zoom out. That's one thing I need to figure out too is chroma key. I feel like I probably should have had to figure out like years ago, but oh well. Then again, chroma key is kind of one of those things that are kind of finicky. So, eh. Looking at the like upper tilts here, you can still see. I mean, there's still a little bit of rotation, actually. Like these couple of scans. Even at this tilt here, you still kind of see it, but that's probably like the last tilt you can actually see anything before it like goes into absolute just messiness. All right, looking back at this cell here, this one's the one I've been looking at for a little bit too. That was developing rotation on it. It actually had a pretty decent, I will say, velocity couplet on it. Looking at CC, it didn't see. Actually, wait a minute. Looks like it might have produced a brief tornado, actually. And then looking at latest scans, we have another tight couplet, so that'll be something to watch for there over near Pleasantville, Iowa. Let me pull up, because I need to pull up the mesoanalysis, and then we also just got a new mesoscale discussion too. So hopefully, okay, this did go to the right window. I don't know why I was blinking on that, but all right. So here's the mesoanalysis, which I mean, where our main area for severe weather is very unstable. Which looking, I mean, surface-based instability. I mean, there's probably some capping, but which is also probably, I mean, at least for this section over here, that's probably one of the more reasons why these storms over here are probably surface based right now, are not surface based, and they're producing wind and hail, but and these ones are more. Oh, these ones are discrete, so they're able to have that tornado threat on them. Although these cells were all kind of discrete, but then are now clustering up and upscaling into more of a clustered. I wouldn't say linear, but it's very clustered mode. So it's going to interfere with that tornado threat by quite a bit. Actually, before I switch back to radar, here is the mesoanalysis that just came out a little bit ago. Severe risk continues. This is mesoscale discussion is valid until 11:45. I feel like wait, let me take a look at the keybinds real quick. Keyboard settings. Because there's got to be a way I can for the drawing tool I can like toggle drawing tool. Okay, it doesn't seem like I can delete different drawings I make, I guess. Alright, so here is I mean this is because I have the I forget what it's called off the top of my head. I know I could take a look at it, but it's like temporary premium though. Cause I signed up on the web app. Cause I'm still waiting for the Android version of Weatherfront to come out. Which once that comes out, I'll probably because I'm planning on completely switching from Radar Omega at some point. Which will be very soon. Wow, we got a couple of hail ports coming out of Pleasantville. Both of those are golf ball size hail. Let me check back, because I know I'm kind of bouncing. I mean, obviously I'm gonna be bouncing around a little bit here and there, but sometimes I feel like I bounce around too much. But I guess sometimes I gotta do what I gotta do. I guess. Yeah, that is looking very much outflow dominant now with this. You can actually see the outflow coming out of this too, so you can see that outflow right here. Or at least some type of gust front. Does make me wonder. I mean, I know not every situation's got a shelf cloud, but does make me wonder if there is a shelf cloud with this right now, because I've not seen a shelf cloud in person in forever, and I haven't had. I mean, I know there's storms like a couple weeks back, but I haven't not seen lightning here in a while. I am deprived of lightning, guys. I need lightning. But I will say once I mean if we do get storms here, the nice thing is with lightning like storms in June is they produce quite a bit of lightning and it creates like nice lightning shows. That's one thing I like about well, summer storms in general, but I mean I know we're not technically in summer yet. We're still in astronomical spring, but we are in meteorological summer. Which meteorological summer goes from this month I think to August I think, because then September 1st would be meteorological fall, and then I forget what the I think meteorological winter I think is December then till February I think if I'm not mistaken. Let's go back to looking at our areas of rotation. Getting tongue tied over here. Tongue. What's the saying? Cat got your tongue or something like that? Yeah, how much longer is left? 26 minutes on this tornado warning. There's a chance that does end up getting canceled out at some point, but of course we'll have to see what happens with that. Well, we'll take a look back at this one because I know this one has been. You could actually see on radar here. Let me go to actually double view here because I'm very curious. Because I'm thinking back to the whatever I saw earlier. Yeah, that's pretty like looking at okay, so on the left you have CC, which allows you to see debris signatures. And then on the right you have your velocity. Yeah, I would say that's definitely a case where we had at least a brief tornado. And maybe continuing there, but that's probably more than likely to clear air contamination there. And then looking at the this scan here, it's somewhat aligned with the CC drop here, and then lastly a couple of here. So we at least had a couple of brief tornadoes here. And then looking at the scan here, there's tight couplet again. And then looks like I mean this did another well basically what's called cycling. So it did a cycling of the air rotation. You can kind of see it goes from over here and then see the areas of green and red start to pop up over here. And then we have that air rotation. And then that went back over here towards the west. And looking at latest oh hold on. Let me do something real quick. Let me go back to 2 hours instead of going to 6 hours with the yeah, I think whatever rotation tried to ramp back up in there, yeah, that's that occluded. They do have this going for 54 minutes, although wait, this is actually going for oh yeah, this is actually going for that long. Wow, okay. I'm like, wait a minute. I had to double check because I'm like, it's been a while since I've seen a tornado warning go for that long, but that's probably because it's been well, I mean, we've had cases where we have QLCS spam and it ends up being like that, but and then I mean even oh there we go, yeah. So there's your tornado warning no longer on this cell here over near Lorry Moore, Iowa. We got another wind report. This one coming out of Sand. Is that near? Yeah, it's near Sandyville. Received text message from train spotter of 63 mph wind gusts on personal weather station. Wow, that's a pretty gusty. Blown away. And we got actually some storms starting to initiate down here between like southeastern Wisconsin and northern Illinois, actually, up here in this McHenry County here. And then we got one over here. We actually got storm over here near Rockford, actually. That is one thing, is I do wonder how much these storms are gonna help with the drought that's out here. Does weather front have well, drought monitor would be a part of the climate prediction centers, which doesn't seem like they have that yet. So unless it's on fire weather outlook, which does not seem to be the case. That's probably, I imagine that's gonna be something they're gonna add at some point. Just a matter of when, I guess. There is also tropical weather outlooks. We do actually have a tropical storm out here in the E-Pack, which is Tropical Storm Amanda, and then we have a couple of areas over here near Mexico. We got one that is, we got Disturbance 1 and Disturbance 2. We got an apple and we got an orange. This one's 60-70, and then this one is 40-60. So the Eastern Pacific, or the EPAC, is as expected, heating up and getting active. I know there has been some talk with the Atlantic with the past couple of days with the Central American gyre and signals coming from that with potentially some kind of tropical system coming out of that. But if we do see anything coming out of down here, it's probably gonna just be a big old moisture plume coming up towards the southeast here, and it'll bring more rainfall to there. Because the thing is I mean, not that there isn't gonna be windows, that there's be opportunities for tropical storms to kind of form and all that, but right now there is a lot of wind shear in the Gulf. And one thing, well, tropical storms and hurricanes, they don't like is, well, they don't like wind shear. Actually, I can pull up. Hold on 1 second. I can pull up. Shear. All right, so here's basically what I'm talking about when it comes to wind shear. So yeah, here a lot of wind shear over the Gulf, and that's gonna be continuing for a while. Because another thing too, because we're in an El Nino, well, we are in a El Nino pattern, so we're going to be in one. I still got this tornado warning in Wisconsin. That's gonna be going for 5 minutes. This is probably just being led to expire out, if anything, compared to it just being continued. Which, I mean, if they were to continue it, they probably would have issued a tornado warning a couple minutes ago or so. Which they haven't issued one without that. It is that time of night where I just can't speak. Apparently. Got actually, well, 15 mile, well, basically about 60 mph wind gust report over here in, where's that? Well, this would be west of Omaha, but personal weather station. We got a couple of them down here. Wow, we have a lot of rotation reports down here. I know there was a bunch of storm chasers down here, but man, that's a lot of reports. And this is right now warned for 70, and that's observed too. Do have a couple of flash flood warnings that are going on right now. There is a. If you take a look at the Weather Prediction Center's excessive rainfall outlook, there is a slight risk of flash flooding in our slight risk area, essentially. The slight risk for flash flooding is in our slight risk for severe weather. So, interesting how that. I always find it interesting sometimes how. So here's your convective outlook, and then here's your excessive rainfall. So, I mean, obviously there's some differences, but, I mean, generally it's in a slight risk area where storms are going to be going on. And well, I say going to be going on, but they're going on right now. Now, let me take a look at. If we make sure that's not rotation near Greenfield. Because sometimes you get things that look like rotation and then they're not actual rotation. So let me go up in the tilt here. Yeah, that actually might be a little bit of rotation near Greenfield. But a lot of these storms are this section that we're looking at right now. A lot of them they're initiating in this area and then they're all clustering up. And once they get more clustered up, well, I mean, they're not moving a ton, as you can kind of see. So that'll contribute to that flash flood threat. But in terms of the severe threat, that'll probably be more than likely. I mean, not they couldn't see hail, but it's more than likely gonna be a wind threat, if anything. Am I on low? Okay, I'm on low still. I'm like, let me double check. So when I go look at things, I'm looking at it properly. All right, so both those warnings in Wisconsin are gonna expire out. Do actually have a couple of storms out here in Wisconsin. Actually, I don't know if there is a severe threat area out here. That is gonna be for wind and hail. Actually, well, I mean the 5% technically does the 5%. Well, it's not 5%. Well, no, it is a 5%. I'm looking at this. I'm like, wait a minute, is that 15? No, that's a 5. I mean, there are little areas in Michigan here that are underneath that 5, but for the most part, it's gonna be a wind threat. Because if we look back at radar, I mean, you can see. But yeah, it's not a super organized line of storms, but we do have kind of a like clustered mode for line of storms, so that'll be something to watch for in terms of the wind threat and potentially a tornado threat too. I mean, we've already seen cases of tornadoes in Wisconsin this evening, or at least storms that end up being tornadic, and end up getting tornado warned. But because I think what does our low level shear look like? Okay, yeah, our lower level shear is I was at this. It's not super strong, but I mean, looking at the 850 millibar level. So here's 850 millibars. You see this little area here, and there's actually kind of a rise here, and not like a dip, but we do have a little bit of forcing here. What about our 700? Mate, not really a dip there. We do have a bit of forcing at 500 millibars. So, I mean, let me go to basically our synoptic look here. So we have a kind of a trough here, we have a ridge, and then we have a little bit of a dip here with this trough here. So a lot of ridging going on here. I mean, we do have some storms down here, which is probably those. I imagine those probably being initiated at the 700 millibar level. Actually, our 300 millibars, there is a bit of a trough on here, so we have an upper level trough probably initiating those. don't think that's rotation. That just looks like that's probably just more than likely just wind. I would be surprised if that is rotation, unless if we do have rotation, which I mean, I wouldn't be surprised considering how much this has recycled its area rotation within the past couple scans, but nose. Got a big old severe dust storm warning here, which was issued a little bit ago. This were 7 mile per hour winds, which we did have a report of 64 mile per hour winds, which I think that's one that we looked at earlier. That's over in Iowa, on the Iowa side of things. Wow, yeah, you can see, I mean, yeah, that is a lot of lighting. Holy. Kind of wish I was there to kind of watch all that lightning. Still rotating here. I mean, you can let me go. Let me go back to reflectivity because you can see just how slowly. There's almost. I mean, I wouldn't say no movement of these storms, but you can see how slow these storms are moving. Actually, how see how fast these are moving just according to the. It's moving southeast at 20. Yeah, that's slow. That's 20 miles per hour. That's all. I mean, for a storm, that's pretty slow, but for other things, it's quick. Or at least pretty good pace. Ding. Make sure I didn't already look at some of these. They were starting to get more wind reports coming out of some of these sections here, although these might have been popped out. Okay, those popped up early. I'm like, let me double check to see. Let's see, tree down a power line. Trees down a power line, so we definitely got power outages over here. Let me look at power outage US real quick. So this would be, unless are these even being reported yet on Power Outage US? I have no idea. No, they are. Okay. Yeah, so Monroe County, 111. Actually, I'll make sure I'm making. Okay, yeah, I am looking at the right county. I'm like, is this like, because there's some counties, because you got counties that are like full squares and then some are like split, which this one is split. Which this west one here is Juneau County, and the one towards the east is Adams. Which in Juneau County has a current 138 people without power. Council Bluffs. Let me take a look here. So I recognize the name of Council Bluffs, but I can sometimes I can never remember some of these where some of these are at. Oh right, yeah, it's once again I feel like I should remember this considering I literally went to Omaha last year. All right, so Um, After the biggest brain fart I ever had in my entire life. All right, so you do have storms moving through right now, which for the most part, it's pretty much just wind. I imagine there's probably a good lightning show going on over there, probably. Probably good few rumbles over there too. One for 70. What was the other one I was? So unless this was Warren for 60 earlier, and was condensed and then upgrade to 70, because I know sometimes with nurse service offices they do that where if a storm moves off towards some direction, I'll just condense it and upgrade it. But took a video of it. Definitely hear it, but I can't feel it. I don't know why that just reminded me. I think it was. I don't remember what day it was last year, but it had severe storms here in Illinois, and had those lightning that like those house shaking ones, and literally like the lamp and all that was like shaking around. I'm like, oh my god, some angry lightning, man. Either that or the lightning decided to eat too much Taco Bell. I don't know. I definitely need because I have an absolute mess on this side of my room right now, and I definitely need to clean it at some point. Probably tomorrow morning when I well after a couple hours, probably after I wake up at some point. You know how angry that lightning was that I was talking about. I just angry as this toad. I was just like looking down here because I have just angry toad on my desk. I'm like, I could definitely do a funny moment with this. I don't know. Yeah, it's warm in my room. Ugh. Open my door. All right, I can take out charging cable. That's one thing about this room. If I have, well, I don't have it going right now, but because I do have my laptop over here, and if I have that running and then connected to this top monitor that I have that's not on right now, it gets real hot in here. It's like a sauna. Like if you really want to sweat, yeah, there you go. That's the number one way to go. I mean, I know laptops in general are a ground for just warm in general, but man. All right, so we're sitting at. Let's see, we're still sitting at 2 tornado warnings. I need to update my title real quick. Because we do not have those tornado warnings going on. Well, tornado warning, because there was only the one that was left, but we no longer have the tornado warning up here in Wisconsin. We just have the two down here in Iowa. Which, this one has tornado pasta on it, which I know there was a little bit of rotation earlier, which was near Greenfield, but that looks like it's pretty much just non-existent at this point. Let's see what this. All right, they're okay. They are letting this tornado warning expire out. Looks like because they issued a severe thunderstorm warning on top of it. That's gonna be going for about an hour ish for 6 mile per hour wind gust and quarter size hail. And then we also got the severe tornado warning over here near Pleasantville. We're basically right on top of Pleasantville, Iowa, actually. And that's going to be going for about half hour-ish. And I say half hour-ish because it's 32 minutes, but... Wow, that is, definitely thin lines for a special marine warning. I'm not used to it being blue for a special marine warning on radar apps. Because normally on radar apps, because I know weather-wise on Radar Omega, they have it as purple, and even on, I think, the official... Actually, no, the official, just looking at weather.gov, which is the official National Weather Service site, they have it as yellow, actually, like a darkish... I would say darkish yellow, but it's like, it's like this yellow. Oh. Surprisingly, because I haven't... I know I've mentioned it in the last stream, and then probably, I think, another stream or something, with me wearing an ankle brace, but I'm surprised my ankle has not been itchy yet. Although I imagine after I take it off, it's gonna be itchy, because that's what happens every time. And it's kind of annoying, but I mean, I wear it all day, pretty much. And I don't think I put it on too tight. Unless I have, but... Oh well. Okay, apparently they canceled the severe dose warning for this one. Okay. Wasn't expecting that, but... Yeah. And there's no longer a warning for this. Although, I do wonder if we do have a little bit of rotation in there. Let me go up a little bit until it's... We may actually have a little bit of rotation between Maxburg and Orient in Iowa here. I do wish the drawing tool was a little bit easier to use on Weatherfront, because... I mean, I feel like I should be able to do Control Z. I'll actually hold on. Wait. Okay, yeah. Actually, am I thinking correctly that there is a way to, that there was a keybind on, not here on Weatherfront, but on Weatherwise, that there was a way to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, undo a drawing on the thing here. I still got 28 minutes on this tornado warning. We're actually down to one tornado warning, actually, now. I think we have an area of rotation that is making its way Going from all the way up near Pleasantville down to now near Melcher, Dallas here. So this little area here, do we potentially have an area rotation on? But obviously we'll have to watch for the next couple scans here because we do have a section here, so that could be easily side lobe contamination. But I mean, we aren't too far from radar, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I am not centered in my camera again. Yippee. Okay, why is it now that my sinuses decided? I definitely think it's my sinuses being a pain in the butt. It's always my sinus. Unless there is, because I don't think it's gonna be my allergies, because it's like because the allergy I have is seasonal. Although, not that it couldn't happen at any time either, but mainly. It's only been 52 minutes. That's alright. Sometimes, I don't know if it's been just like that my day's been like that slow or what. Because today has felt like it's been pretty slow for the most part. Obviously some you gotta have. I mean, you're gonna have some days that are slow. Some days are gonna have a lot going on and all that. Today is one of those slow days. All right, we have another wind report. Let's go be over near Silver City. That's be a 59-mile-per-hour wind report. That is one thing. If we take a look at the outlook again, there was a Sig 1 for hail, which I mean, we have gotten. I think we've gotten hail down here. Let me take a look. Yeah, we have gotten hail down here. Couple of hailstones. Probably not a ton of hail though. Actually, let's see. So the biggest that's been reported down here is like golf ball. So golf ball size hail. Otherwise, most of our reports coming in right now are wind. And I mean, because a 15% Sig 1 is, well, it'll be scattered, damaging winds, scattered, damaging hurricane force winds, which is around 75-mile-per-hour wind, 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And, I mean, we've seen, I think, a couple of those, not quite near, but getting up to, well, actually, yeah. Well, I mean, there's been some that are about 7-mile-per-hour winds about, actually, now that I'm looking at this report here. And then we had a couple down here, too, with around 7-mile-per-hour wind reports there. And, from western, a place literally called Western Nebraska, even though it's in southeastern Nebraska. They're going all the way to Plymouth. I know we've had 164, 150, actually a couple 59-mile-per-hour wind reports. So, I mean, with what we're seeing right now with our storm mode, I think we're definitely going to see a definitely big case of just wind and hail. I wouldn't rule out the case where we've seen where these cells, even though they're clustered right now, where they're still heavy in tornado threat. Although our discrete cells, which we don't have we have semi-discrete cells, but right now, I mean, there's not a whole lot of a big case. There's not a big case right now where we're seeing a discrete cell type of storm mode like you would see on other severe weather days. And that is one thing about, well, not that, I mean, because if you guys remember from last year, actually, I don't know how many of you remember, but just throw it back to last year on June 20th, 2025, where we had the derecho up in North Dakota, and there were discrete cells ahead of that derecho, and one of those discrete cells actually was nudged by a derecho, and it produced that Enderlin tornado from last year. The first EF5 tornado in years. Also, another thing I guess I should probably mention too is a lot of our events. I mean, not that we've had cases where we've had synoptic type of events, so like your trough that produces severe weather, but we've had quite a few events in the past couple days that are definitely mesoscale type days. And one of those days where we had that couple tornadoes actually up in southeastern Dakota near Sioux Falls and all that. We actually had one of those that were actually PDS tornado. And when I looked after, I don't know what time it was or when it was, and I'm just like, man, do the Dakotas do anything but like mesoscale type days, man? I swear. Because every time it's a Dakota day, I'm like, all right, what kind of mesoscale type thing is gonna happen today? Because that's the one thing about mesoscale type days too is, I mean, especially in terms of the tornado side of things, because you don't have the same wind dynamics that you would typically have during, like, let's say April, May, or even March, and your jet stream is much more removed off towards the north, or at least if you do, or if you get a trough, it's not gonna be a super strong trough like you would see in your spring months. Obviously, you can get troughs that are, I mean, every system is gonna be different. So you have stronger troughs, weaker troughs, and all that. Anyways, in terms of our talk about severe weather while we're at it, we do have another slight risk tomorrow. There is a 2% tornado risk between Pennsylvania and Ohio, isolated tornado threat. There is a 30%, which actually goes from a portion of Ohio, goes in all the way through Pennsylvania up into New York State, portions of Massachusetts, and Connecticut. What is that? Gotta probably change out the sock. I don't know what. There's also a well, there's no tornado threat highlighted up here, but we do have a 15% and 5% areas with a SIG 1 up here in North Dakota, Montana, portion of Wyoming, South Dakota, and all that. On what day is this? Well, it's actually tomorrow, actually. And then we have a hail threat in both areas, which neither of them have any SIG or conventional intensity group. So there's probably gonna be. I mean, I imagine that's probably gonna change with the next couple outlooks because you got the one that comes out at 1 in the morning, so that's gonna be the next couple hours, and then you have 7 a.m. and then you have 11:30, and then 3 o'clock. I mean, there's 12:30 for the day two outlook, but in terms of talking about the day one outlook, you're looking at all the times I mentioned, and then the last one for day one outlook would be the 8 o'clock update, which is 0100. And then we have a severe threat again on Sunday in basically the same states. I mean, there's some states that are in the severe threat, like Nebraska, that are included with the severe threat on Sunday, but others are significant severe weather is going to be in the Dakotas and Montana. Because we do have a case where we're having a setup where we're going to be having severe weather that ends up happening up towards in Canada, which will be interesting seeing what comes out of Canada tomorrow. Because I mean, Canada can have tornado outbreaks, severe outbreaks, like like here in the U.S. Given the right, given the right setup, that is. But and then Monday there's no severe threat outlined, but Tuesday and Wednesday there is severe weather outlined for basically the same areas that we were talking about. Okay, so it's just light risk on Tuesday in the Dakotas, and then same thing on Wednesday next week. Although that does include Minnesota, so definitely got to be a lot more talk about severe weather and just slight risk in general. So looking at the community tab, yeah, it's gonna be. Hey guys, you think we're if you thought we were done talking about slight, we got another one coming right at you. I don't know why that was. That was like those like I want to say generic YouTuber intros or something like that. Let's get right into the video. All right, go back to the radar real quick while we're at it. What does reflectivity look like? Definitely got something going on there near Maxburg, but whether or not it's rotation, I mean that looks very disorganized for rotation. It does look like we got rotation on this one though. Although if that is trying to rotate, it's got a short window before the storms over here come knocking at the door. I gotta do a couple things here. Watch severe storm. Because all right, and also we are tornado warning list now. All right, they dropped the tornado possible tag. If okay, never mind. The last one did. I mean, I thought I had a tornado possible tag actually. I guess not. But they did issue a new one for 6 mile per hour winds and quarter size hail. But I got a 69 mile per hour wind report there, and then we got a 60 mile per hour wind report there. I think this is the first time in a while that I've covered a severe threat that wasn't. I don't want to say explicitly a tornado watch, but covering severe weather that wasn't a in a tornado watch, I guess, if that makes any sense. Because a lot of the severe threats I've covered over the years, a lot of them have been tornado watches, and then maybe a couple of those that have been like in severe thunderstorm watches. It's also the first time in a while that I've covered a severe threat that wasn't an enhanced risk too. Because a lot of the severe threats that I've covered this year, I feel like were all enhanced risks and not well, slight risks. I mean, I know that obviously there's been a lot of slight risks, but are quite a few slight risk days, but most of them are most of the ones I've covered have been enhanced risk days. So watching this area near Maxburg, see what that's doing. Do we have I don't know if there's cyclone ports. I know there's cyclone ports in Iowa, but I don't know. Oh, there's one camera near Silver City and then one near Malvern, which wow, yeah, okay, wow. Yeah, okay, let me switch over to Radar Omega real quick so I can show you guys this. Alright, so here's Radar Omega. Holy slight risk flashbang. Alright, so here is the camera. So, I mean, this is looking west, so we're not seeing as much lighting. But here's looking east. And, yeah. Yeah, there's the lightning show right there. Holy. If we go to actually radar, yeah, so that's looking out towards these. I think I finally figure out the direction some of these cameras here. Because the nice thing is with because I've used well weatherwise in some of my streams, and that has cams which show the direction where the camera's at. Radar Mega does not, so you gotta kind of figure out where the storms are at. And yeah, we're looking toward the east on this one, and this is the wow. That is a lightning show, man. If I wish man. I know obviously I know I'm a weather person, so this I mean I mean even non-weather people can I'm like I want to say non weather nerds can look at this be like wow, but what am I even trying to sentence here? Speak here. I guess what I'm trying to say is this looks amazing, and anybody can find out look at this. Anybody can find this looking amazing. I guess I don't know. I don't know if any of that made any sense of what I was trying to talk about there, but yeah. Apparently, weatherwise has stargazing aurora outlook. I did not know that. Although it's a Brian Hall y'all plus thing. Also, I'm looking at weatherwise reports as well. Let me actually like get up weatherwise real quick here. So here's weatherwise. There actually was a couple of fun reports from 2 hours ago. One near Manchester and the other near Friesland, Wisconsin. And there was, as of 14 minutes ago, a winter port near Round Lake at, well, near Wilson, Illinois here. So we got a damaging wind gust there. I actually had a couple of funnel ports from an hour ago, funnel cloud, and then this one being a funnel cloud. Actually, this one got a tornado pause tag on it, which, yeah, there's your area rotation on that one. I'm surprised this one doesn't have tornado pause. Okay, they just updated it, so this now has a tornado pause tag back on it again. So this one has a tornado. So we have two areas that are rotating again on those storms. This one probably actually got nudged into rotating because this one had its rotation fizzle out for a little bit, and then as these showers and storms are kind of merging in with the cell here, that's basically nudging the updraft into rotating. And I just realized I'm still on Radar Omega. Nice job, me. Great, you're great. Hold on one second, I need to fix this. All right. So here's the two areas of rotations I was looking at. But she's just got this one has 12 policy again. This is a new severe dust warning. This is the severe dust warning that we were looking at for a little while, but now has 12 policy again as well. So this one, if you go back a little bit on rotation, rotate. Well, yeah, no, that would be the right wording, I guess. So you can kind of see storms and showers and basically merging with this, and you can see the air rotation ramping up, and that kind of nudged it into rotating essentially. And I don't think we have the same situation on this one, but we have two areas here in Iowa that we're gonna be keeping an eye on right now. Because I mean, if anything, I feel like we're definitely have a case where we could get a couple more brief tornadoes if we see more nudgers. Wow, we actually had a 4 inch. We had a 4 inch hail port. But then was that even reported on the thing? Okay, no, it doesn't even show up on the Storm Prediction Center site. Okay, that's interesting. 4 inches measured. All right, so we did have a large hail port over here. It just didn't show up on a storm port page apparently. Great. And looking at the radar in Omaha, yeah, that's a pretty good agreement between radars here that we have rotation on that. And I mean, we don't. I mean, Omaha's radar can't see this one, but I mean, we have pretty decent area rotation on that one there. I can just see once again what I've been kind of talking about for a little bit too, where these storms are not moving a ton. Looking at latest scans, not the super tight air rotation as what it was on the last scan. A little bit broader on that cell here. Keeping an eye on the cell that this cell to the left. That's probably side lobe contamination in there, but that does look like pretty decent rotation on that. When is 3 in the morning the severe thunderstorm watch go still? Wow. Okay, that's gonna be some late night rumblings probably over here in Iowa. Actually in Nebraska too, because we got more storms over here initiating just north of Grand Island. And we are back to having a tornado warning again. Which I'm not surprised that they end up doing that. Yeah, definitely keeping an eye on this one here. This one, I mean, switch between radar sites here. I mean, between radar sites, but it looks a little bit stronger on Des Moines' radar compared to Omaha's. At 21, this, well, I thought it said it was going for an hour, but now it's set at like 46 minutes. Interesting. All right, we'll go back over to weather-wise. So yeah, that's kind of basically kind of how it's gotta be going in terms of these streams now, where I'm switching between weather-wise and weather-front. I mean, not that we're not gonna be. I mean, not that I'm not gonna be using Radar Omega, but weather-wise and weather-front definitely gonna be used a little bit more, and then probably occasionally GR2, because GR2, even though it's older and has an older looking software and all that, it's still old reliable. And I'm being chroma keyed out. Let me okay, I probably don't need to zoom in that much. Probably around here is probably good. So watching that area near Maxburg right here. Because, I mean, there's probably some rotation in there, but still, I mean, it's a case where it's probably weaker end type of rotation in there. We got a hail port, looks like, too. Four size hail. That 17 minutes ago. Yeah, there. Yeah, so there you can see. I mean, those nudgers I was talking about, and then yeah, now that's all. I mean, if a tornado does happen, it's gonna be embedded in rain, which considering this is being embedded within an MCS now, I think at this point, yeah, that cell's gonna probably become. I wouldn't say complete. Hold on one second. I think we may have a tornado on the ground here near southwest of Massena. This is as the latest scan of 2 minutes ago. I mean, that is. I mean, looking at velocities and then CC, that looks pretty consistent for a tornado. Just waiting for the next scan to come on in. Oh, let me zoom out a little bit so I'm not completely green screened out. Okay, even it. Okay, apparently it's that green. Okay, cool. Oh, let me go to my chroma key real quick. Even turning it down. Okay, I need to. I wonder if I can pick screen color. I should just do that. Okay, that did not help at all. That did not help at all. Yeah, I'm at the. Okay, that. Yeah, that's yeah, we're cooked. Latest velocities have not come in. Alright, just waiting for the next scan to come in here. Let me go to dual view. Because I think we do have a tornado on the ground here. That is, I mean, it's, once again, the clearest day that we have a tornado on the ground. Like, latest velocity just came in. It looks like we have, I mean, still got rotation. It looks like, I wonder if this is trying to do a handoff with this mezzo torch down here now. This would be something to watch for there. Wait for the next CC to come in here. Alright, that's a little bit better. Like getting green screened out completely. Latest scan for CC just came in. Yeah, we may have a little bit of, I think we saw a little bit of recenter here. So yeah, this definitely, with all the mergers that we just had, this definitely, we definitely had a merger, and then this got nudged into producing a tornado, reef tornado that is. And wait, just now we're just waiting for next. I mean, it's updated a little bit. Well, I say a little bit ago, but probably about 4 minutes ago, maybe. So probably within the next minute, we'll probably get a update here. Hopefully, that is. Because sometimes it takes a little bit for radar update, but all right, latest velocity just came in. Definitely not as strong of velocity as what we saw earlier, but we probably saw some rotation in there. And then that area down here that I was looking at, yeah, definitely don't got anything of note there. Just waiting for the next CC scan to come in. We got some. We got a flood port coming out of Pleasantville. It looks like. I go back to one if it wants to switch. That is. All right, I was clicking on the wrong thing. Whoops. All right, let's go back to one frame here. Maybe a smaller debris signature, but honestly, I think we once again we definitely had a at least a brief tornado that we just saw. I mean, looking at the last scan here, as I mean, it's a smaller debris signature, but I mean, looking at the velocities, I mean, that is pretty strong velocities that we had on a couple of those scans. Don't know what's out here. I know it's Iowa, so it's gonna be a lot of rural land out here, but I don't know what in terms of if there's like farmhouses, barns, just general houses in general. They issued another severe dust warning, 12 pound tag, 6 mile per winds, and ping pong sized hail. If we do have rotation, it's gonna be this area here, east of Melcher, Dallas. And we're starting to see some severe dust warnings pop up on these, it looks like now. So we got severe threats starting to fire up out here, which I know I've been talking about severe some. I know I was talking about storms fire up over near Grand Island, but we also got these storms out here or east of that. So these are gonna be probably round two, basically round two storms almost. I say almost round two almost storm. Basically round two storms making their way southeast. And then what's our outlook for tomorrow? Hold on, let me take a look. Because if I was gonna say, because if we had a severe threat in the same area tomorrow, that would have been definitely would have probably set up for an interesting situation where we have a outflow boundary that kind of sits there, and storms can. Because one thing that storms can do is they can take advantage of the vorticity within the outflow boundary and then produce a tornado. Or they can well, I mean, they could ride a warm front, and one side will be the cool side, and a warm one side's the well cool stable side, and the other is the warm unstable side. And then if a storm rides a warm front for a couple like all the I wouldn't say all the way through, but for a while it'll keep producing tornadoes. Given that the environment is right, but because I mean not all storms if they are on a warm front, not all of them will produce a tornado, but it is a source of vorticity for storms to produce tornadoes essentially. All right, still got another 31 minutes on the tornado warning. Still have a bit of rotation here. I mean, you can see on Storm Relative, it is a smaller, a little bit weaker area rotation. There's a case that we could probably see that tornado warning get canceled out in a moment or so. A flash flood warning on this area now. Have we got any flash flood? Well, flood reports in general. Okay, we got a flash flood warning inside of flash flood warning, apparently. Alright. I think I can go to Storm Total Precip, and then we go to here. Wow, yeah. 6 inches, about, at least according to radar. Between 3 and 7 inches of rainfall fall. Additional rainfall amounts up to 2 inches. Yeah, that's a good amount of rain. And then over here, I mean, obviously I got flash flood over here. We got about 5 inches there. So I got spots there. Even over here, it's about the same thing. But yeah, a lot of rainfall has been falling over here. Oh, that's not accurate there. 27 miles per hour. I think only moving about like 20. Either way, still got a quite a couple of well, like what time is it? 11:30. So we got about an hour till it arrives over here. All right, and I have dropped that tornado warning again. I start so because I used to have text for severe dust storm warnings, but I don't. I haven't had text for severe dust warnings in like months. But now it's just a graphic with a text there, or has been that for a while. I'm gonna be right back real quick. All right, I am back. All right, so far, I mean, let me look at the Des Moines radar here. I think now we're pretty much looking at mainly wind now. They also dropped the warning on this cell here. So yeah, I mean, there's actually no. I'm about to say this one has throw outside, but doesn't. This one does. These two, no, it's just this one. These two do not. Yeah, mainly should be wind for the most part. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, considering that we already had a couple brief tornadoes tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if we had maybe a couple more brief tornadoes or so. All right, I guess we'll take a look at well, How far ahead did I go? Alright, so here, this is, what is this, 12Z Euro. There 18, there is 18Z on here. Yeah! Alright, so here is the trough that's making its way through, and we have a bit of a short wave, I think, down here. Might actually go to 700. Yeah, that's a short wave down there. But yeah, we'll go back to 300. And yeah, there's your trough making its way through. Here's your short wave. Other than that, we have another ridge type of situation going on. Would not be surprised if we get maybe a bit more severe. I mean, we do have this trough up here, and then the ridge. So we have this omega block pattern again, which I did make a video about and upload about a week or so ago. So check out that video. Although I don't know what was going on with, because I'm using my HyperX right now. I don't know what was going on with this microphone. I just have not figured out what was going on at this point. This HyperX is gonna be my main microphone for streaming at this point. At least doing these streams, it'll be a little bit more reliable, and I have to try and fix its this one. I want to fix the buzzing issues on this one constantly, but yeah. All right. Well, anyways, take a quick back look at radar here. Make sure we got all things covered here. Because I'm pretty sure that, I mean, other than maybe that area there, let me take a look some relative. Maybe a tiny area rotation there, actually. Alright, they issued new surrenders running at top of the 6 mile per winds and less than, well, I'd still say maybe a Balcor size hail, but smaller size hail. Other than that, I mean, once again, we're looking at mainly wind. I still have a tornado threat on this one, but we haven't seen too much of anything. I mean, we still have rotation on it, which is this broad area here, but other than that, we have not seen too much of anything. With this, at least with this cluster here. We did have a cell over here that was discrete, but obviously it's now merged and embedded with this cluster. I don't know if we really quite have the case of an MCS or mesoscale convective system, but which I think this would technically be an MCS, considering it's one big block. It's like one big cluster of storms. So ooh, that's another thing. Waterfront satellite. We can actually take a look at like satellite like actual color, because Radar Omega doesn't have like, I mean, it has geocolor, but it's like specifically switch to that. Even on here, but it looks better on here compared to Radar Omega, to be honest. I don't know. I swear, I always found natural color on satellite really weird, because it does not look natural at all compared to geocolor. Yeah, anyways, that'll be it for this that'll be it for this coverage for tonight. Stay safe out there, help both ways, get alerts. We're looking at, in terms of the rest of tonight with severe threats, we're mainly looking at wind and some hail for the most part. Still wouldn't rule out a brief tornado. I mean, we had a couple of those already, but other than that, wind and hail. And yeah. See you guys in the next stream I do, which don't know when that'll be, but I will of course I'll let you guys know, or I mean, it's not that, I mean, considering it's June, some streams could probably pop out of nowhere, but yeah, anyways, stay safe out there.